And I'm not saying it's a metaphor, but a practical metaphor.
Right.
And so that's why I brought up religion before, because it's no different than what the good parts of religion were trying to do. But without saying, oh, if you don't fucking believe in the fifth, no, it's none of that. It's just like you have the capacity to change yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I talked about Tony Robbins and that shit. And it's flashy, and there's some fun words and shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's just like time travel for me is the philosophy of infinite possibility. It's a metaphor for personal development. And this is the way that I've created a narrative for myself that's fun and engaging and makes me responsible for myself and takes me away from being a victim and takes the power onto myself to do what I need to do.
It pulls your locus of control right to the center.
Exactly.
Which is cool. Do you find that there's a negative effect of that? Like even just this idea of infinite possibilities can put like an immense pressure on every single choice that you make. Because you realize that like there really are infinite possibilities. This is not just two dudes talking. Like it's been theorized in a bunch of different ways that there are that many like realities. There are that many potential realities. Even if you just look at a single sort of string of you moving through time, the way that you could impact your future experience is infinitely open, more or less, right? Like that there's so many pathways, all these different potential things that you could do or end up or be or whatever it may be, which means that like at this sort of like entry point into all those infinite choices, which you're constantly at, it's not like you choose a path and you're stuck on that path. Every decision that you make, everything that you do, every minute that you spend thinking about something, doing something or whatever it may be, or not doing something puts you on a different one of those paths. Do you find that there's like a negative sort of pressure that comes from that?
No, I don't at all, because there's literally so many possibilities and it's so infinite that it doesn't matter.
That's sick.
Because,
how do I, because in the present, do. So let's have this conversation.
So in the present moment, you have the choice to go on the right foot. So whatever you did leading up to now doesn't matter, because from now forward, you can go wherever you want.
Yes. I love that about it. Keep going.
Right. So that's really the gist of it. You don't have to worry about your next move. Worry about this move. And like you're going up. And if you're going to do, 50 days of not moving forward, who cares? But once you decide, you're moving up again and you're going on to this new reality. And perhaps what you learned on that flat spot was what you needed to learn to make the decision to move up. It took you that long on that level. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Everyone's playing the game at their own pace. Are you enjoying yourself? Are your relationships good? Are you feeling proud about the work you're doing? Doesn't matter. Can you look back and learn from what you did? Because that's another part of it. Rather than saying, oh, I didn't choose the best possible reality. There's no good or bad or best or not. In this moment when I feel strong, can I make a great decision? Sure, let's do it. Okay, I didn't make good decisions. What did I learn? Positive. Always look for a net positive.
Okay.
Because I know I'm talking about time travel, but you can't go back in time. The only way that you can realistically go back in time is to go back to that memory or go back to that thing you did and extract something positive that shifts your understanding of it, that changes you as a person today. So by you going into your memory and finding a nugget of goodness, you are actually rewiring some synapse in your brain or something that allows you to see it differently, that empowers you. And now you're seeing the same world differently,
right?
Which is a rise in perspective. It's a rise in consciousness. You are a time traveler.
I think I found the difference.
Okay.
It's that you said there is no best reality. Like there's no best path. There's no best destination. And I think until you said that, I didn't even realize this consciously, but like I kind of have that lingering belief that there is. And that puts a pressure, right? If there's a destination, I mean, there are wrong turns. And there are like, I know inherently that like, that's not the right way to look at it for sure, but that's still how I look at it. And I think that's what the negative pressure comes from. It's this feeling that like, if I could optimize like my path, if I could choose for all the known variables between here and where I end up, and choose the best ones there. You know, like I could be as fulfilled as possible, successful, happy, fit, in shape, healthy, all these different things. To me, that starts to coalesce around like a direction that's like almost quantifiable, which is not a good way to look at it, because that's where all the negative connotations come from. And that's where the pressure on like every choice, every decision, like if my girlfriend and I eat like a cheat meal or like a junk meal or whatever, like we have very different 1 minute after that experience, right? For her, it's like, okay, I did it. I said I was going to do it and I did it. And she's like at peace with it. And she does it very infrequently. But for me, it's like, I hate myself afterward.
And do you do it more frequently?
Yes. 100%.
So maybe that
100%.
that overwhelming weight,
and worse,
and
like
that
she'll have like a little whatever, and I'm going
same.
fucking deep on this. I'm gonna like, if I'm gonna hate myself, I'm gonna really hate myself.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that's just something that we have. But if you can understand that there's a nugget in there, because really there's no other productive way of looking at it.
Yeah,
you might as well just try to find a positive.
for sure.
Because what benefit do you get out of saying, "Oh man, I fucked the potential reality I could have"? It's going to ruin your day. Fuck it. You did it because you needed to learn something. Create something. Use your imagination.
Maybe it opened up a whole other reality that I wasn't even aware of at the time.
Exactly. Maybe it sent you where you needed to go.
Right.
Maybe it made you go for that run, that made you meet that person that you ran into in the street, and you rekindled something and started a business. Never would have happened if you didn't binge like that motherfucker.
We go on very different runs, apparently.
Look, it's going to happen. But you know what I mean?
I do, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
It's an optimistic view.
Yes.
Because we are, as Bob Marrier said on my last podcast, 007, he said, we are imperfect creatures living imperfect lives in an imperfect world. Might as well make the best of it. Because you and I are the same in that we're always disappointed with each other, ourselves, not each other, with ourselves, because we expect ourselves to be perfect. But it's impossible and doesn't exist. And as an ecosystem, and I say like every creature is feeding up to the 5D cloud. Well, how do you think technology emerges? It's all these people using it, data being fed, learning, and then making a new iteration and a new iteration. And everything is a platform for the next thing that's coming.
Right.
Whether it's, the single cell organism that led to us, whether it's the internet that led to this or that, whether you think it or not, you're contributing.
Yep.
By using Uber Eats so much, someone is learning about consumer behavior that might cure the world of the future plague. You know what I mean?